back to business after a weekend off? Do you feel refreshed after a bit of a break after a tough start to the season?
Yeah. Hopefully all the lads do. They had a little bit of time off over the weekend, so it's been a full slog with a lot of players having to play all the games basically. So yeah, it was nice to have a freshen up and hopefully we'll see the benefit on Sunday.
Does that sort of break in the fixtures give you a chance to maybe draw a line under the form that we've been having and start to look forward to maybe the next block of fixtures and building some form?
No, not really. I think it just physically gave our lads a chance to freshen up, like I said before, and sort of reiterating that there's a lot of players being asked to do pretty much all of the work with what's happened to the squad in the first part of the season. So it's nice for them to get a little bit of a freshen up and not have a game to think about at the weekend. But ultimately, you know, it's back to business this week, and we'll see whether it's benefited or not on Sunday.
Things are only getting tougher to start with the news that Tom Inman's going to be set for a spell on the sidelines with a broken jaw. Connor Davis broke a bowler in his thumb. I mean, to lose 2 first teams when you're down on troops, how much of a kick in the teeth has that been? Yeah,
it's pretty tough. It's the old never rain it pours. But yeah, they're two really tough individuals there who played on. I think Tom did another 20 minutes with a broken jaw. Shows you how tough and how resilient and how much it means to him to play for Halifax. And Connor, similarly, he hurt his thumb in the first, I think it was the first 20 minutes, and just got it strapped up and played the rest of the game. Again, shows you how tough he is as an individual and how much he's passionate about what he's doing and the team and the group and the club. So yeah, I couldn't be any more proud of those two for what they showed in terms of toughness and resilience last week, and absolutely gutted for them that they're going to be out long term, and obviously puts a little bit more strain on our squad that's already under a fair bit.
Yeah, like you said, the club's been really unlucky with injuries and quite serious long-term injuries depleting the squad. Is that pushing selection and numbers to breaking point at this point?
It's making picking a team easy. There's no doubt about that. But you know, I think rather than looking at the negative side of it, you know, it's part and parcel of the game. You've just got to deal with it. It's how it is. You can't really do too much about it. It's not a load of soft tissue injuries. They're all the breaks and serious stuff. So you can't have much control of it. But again, I reiterate, and this is for the whole group, I'm proud of how tough the group are doing it. And yeah, it's pretty thin on numbers, but they keep turning up and training hard week in, week out, and eventually, if you keep doing that, your luck will turn, so to speak. And yeah, I'm just proud of the group at the minute and how they're just getting on with what they're doing despite what's going on around them.
Losing 2 first-team hookers the way we have, the club moved quickly to bring Cory Johnson in on dual registration from Leeds Rhinos. That must be a boost. And what can you tell us about Cory and what he'll bring to this group?
Yeah, we've had his eye on Cory for a few weeks when he hasn't been playing. Initially at Leeds, and then he sort of went to Bradford for a little spell. So we've been keeping an eye on Cory and trying to make something happen. And obviously, when we got the news about Tom, we had to move a little bit faster on that one and get him in. And basically, he's just a good young rugby player who's tough, versatile, but ultimately he's a hooker by trade. He's a quality hooker, and he's got some skills and deception out of dummy half. He works hard, and he's just generally a good teammate. So he'll be a welcome addition to the squad, and we look forward to getting him out there and seeing what he can do for us.
Following that incoming, we had another outgoing with the club releasing Greg Eden from his contract. What was the story behind Greg leaving the club?
Yeah, it's disappointing. You know, he's struggling with the move from full-time to part-time, and travel after work, coming over after work and getting to training and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's obviously disappointing, and yeah, these external influences that have affected that, which are out of our control. But ultimately, we don't want players here who don't want to play for us, and if that's the case, then we're happy to move on, and we'll put somebody in a shirt that really wants to play for it.
In terms of that, then, is there any recruitment plans on the horizon? Are we at the point now where we need to be bringing people in to fill out the squad?
Yeah, absolutely, and we're constantly looking, and we're talking to people. We've personally been on the phone all week, trying to get some outside backs in, trying to get some things done, but it's not that easy mid-season, and people are, you know, we're getting a lot of closed doors at the minute, but we'll keep chipping away, and in the meantime the lads who are here will keep digging in and showing what it means for them to play for this group. A lot of people will be playing in positions that they're good at, but it's not the favourite, which again is a tip of the hat to them for showing their commitment to the group and to the team, and putting themselves second in what they actually want to do and what they believe that they're better at, to put the team first, which is ultimately the way we're going and where we're trying to get this and mould this team. With
Inman and Davis being added to a lengthy list that obviously contains Calcott, and with Crooks's return maybe up in the air on terms of recovery time, is there any news on Adam O'Brien's return and a time frame on that at this point?
Yeah, OB's progressing well. He's diligent, he's professional, and he's doing what needs to be done. And we're hopeful that in the next month he'll be available to play if everything keeps going the right way. I think we can't put a definite date on. I think the Toulouse game might be pushing it if he keeps going how he is, and we'll have to assess how we're travelling at that time. But he'll be making himself available as soon as possible, because again he's doing everything he can to make himself available because of the job he wants to do and how much he wants to play for us.
So that's all the off-field things discussed. We can get back to talking about some rugby. We move back into the Betfred Championship this weekend with a trip over to the York Knights in round 8, I believe. They're having a tough start to the season themselves. Obviously, our struggles have been well put out there. Is this game at this point of the season, not in terms of league position, but in terms of confidence, a must-win for you?
I think every game for me is must-win. Clearly we haven't been doing it for the last month, and it's the same mentality for the group. They go out to win every single game. Sometimes it goes for you, sometimes it doesn't. It hasn't been going for us recently, and I think I say this most weeks. As long as the group are coming in and trying to get better and going out with the intent to compete and try and win games, which I think anybody that went to Featherstone will agree that we created enough opportunities to win that game. Unfortunately, probably the circumstances and that little bit of pressure that's built up over the last few weeks got us excited when we made the breaks, and we need to fix that up and be a little bit more composed when we're creating opportunities, to be able to either take them or be comfortable enough to get tackled and get them on the next play or even the next set if needs be.
And in terms of York's strengths and abilities, where do you feel they lie? You've done your homework on the Henderson side. Where do you think their threats are going to come from?
Yeah, they've got threats across the park. They've got experienced halfback in Liam Harris. They've got a bit of a jack in the box in Hingano, a hard-working middle unit with a fair bit of experience in there. I think Geordie Thompson's still their talisman. He's still churning out big 80-minute performances and being their main best player. So I think we're going to have to deal with him, and then in the sort of back five, they've got a little bit of a sprinkling of different stuff there in terms of targets, kick targets in Brown, and a little bit of yardage carries with Lynham, people like that. So they've got some ability across the field, and we'll have to be at our best to turn them over.
And finally then, the LNER Community Stadium, a bit of a mouthful that one, has not been the happiest of hunting grounds for the Panthers in recent years. The fans that are going to make the journey over there on Sunday, what's your message to them about getting behind the boys?
Keep it positive, like you did then. Look, we appreciate the support. We appreciate that it's tough times at the minute, and we're doing it tough. And I think we sort of pay attention and see the ones that turn up week in, week out, and that get behind the lads. And it means a lot. And we appreciate that people pay good money to come out and watch the team on a Sunday, and they want entertaining. And when we're focused on digging in and sticking together as a small group and trying to deliver that as best we can.